Hi guys, Tim here, and I'm sharing in this video my final 2 lessons that I learned in running a marathon. Over the last few days, I've been sharing all my tips and experiences of what I'd actually learned, not only from a personal perspective in preparing and running the marathon, but also how it related to my business. So listen right to the end as I share my final 2 pointers on lessons learned in running a marathon. And I remember getting past that 28K marker and 14 kilometers to go, thinking, I've got this. And I'd been told that there comes a point where training goes out the window and becomes a mental game. It's all about what goes on in here. It's your self-talk. And so I started to talk to myself. You're strong. You can do this. Keep going. Remember what your goal is. Remember that your goal is to finish. Keep going. And that became my motivation. Beware of the negative talking, because negative self-talk will give you more of what you actually don't want. When you're talking to yourself, give it a positive start, an upliftment. You're strong. You can do this. Keep going. You've got this. You're stronger than you think you are. And be on a positive side of things. But on that Sunday, there was somebody playing tricks with me. I think there was somebody on the other end of that road, and they'd taken up that tar and they were stretching it back like an elastic band. Because as I was running, I wasn't getting any closer. It just was exactly the same distance. Even when I passed the 6-kilometer mark, it still looked the same distance. And it was at this point that my legs said, we're done. We're finished. You're on your own. We're staying here. I don't care, body, what you want to do. Legs, we've done what we're going to do. They said, that's it. I don't want to do anymore. But in my mind, there was 2 goals that I remember, 2 strategies, 2 non-negotiables that I'd put into place when I first started training, before I did my first half marathon. Now, these 2 non-negotiables was running only. Run, and you're doing a marathon. Walking, for me, was off the table. The next thing that was off the table was quitting. Stopping, giving up, saying, I can't do this anymore, that was off the table. So when I brought this back to my front of my mind, and I said to myself, these 2 non-negotiables I put into place when I was training for a reason. And the reason I put them into place was for this exact moment here and now. When you get to that point that you truly believe that you cannot go any further and you think this is impossible, I'm not going to get there, this road is not going to get any shorter, you go back to those non-negotiables. No matter the pain, no matter the mental attitude, the mental turmoil, what the people are doing around you, what people say around you, stick to those in the tough times. And so I started to shout. I absolutely started to shout out loud. It was no longer an internal mental game. This was an external one. You've got this all the way. You can do this. You're strong. You can finish. Keep going, keep going, keep going, keep going. I was shouting at myself. I just would not stop shouting. I didn't care what anybody else around me thought. I was not interested in anybody else. I was interested in me and me getting to that finishing line. That was my goal. If I motivated, inspired somebody else or made somebody else laugh that what this guy's doing is he's shouting at me, I didn't care. If they came along for the journey and benefited them, bonus. But I was after racing, and I was racing me and me alone. You see what happens when you're shouting verbally out loud? The conscious and subconscious change. Your subconscious mind starts creating a different energy in you, that you will suddenly discover that you've got more in you than you've ever believed. This is why you see sportsmen who are out there, who are trying to hit that record, they're trying to push through. What do? They start shouting at themselves because the whole body starts to change. There's a massive shift, subconscious, consciously, of what actually goes around. And as I went round that last corner, that last little bend, down through this car park that you can see behind me over there, I was running on legs that were as wobbly as running on cooked spaghetti. But I got across that line. 4 hours 21. You are your best cheerleader, never forget about it. If you expect everybody around you, your family, your friends, to support you all the time when things are getting tough and to keep encouraging you, you are your best cheerleader. Don't ever think that somebody else is going to understand your dreams, your goals, your strategies, why you're doing it. They can't, because they are not you, just like you are not them. So you are your best cheerleader, and you keep going. Stick to your goal no matter what.